Long before she was a duchess, Meghan Markle was a queen.
I had just started acting.
Blink and you might miss it moments, like playing a FedEx girl in Horrible Bosses.
Because I'm from LA, I often say, if you grew up in a small coal mining town, maybe you're gonna end up getting into coal mining. I grew up in the entertainment industry. And every day after school for 10 years, that's where I grew up. I was there.
Wow.
Meghan zeroed in on Howie Mandel.
Today, two of Meghan's former castmates are hitting back on social media.
This is what Meghan Markle's first wedding looked like. Beer and barbecue on a beach in Jamaica. The festivities included a wheelbarrow race with Meghan leading the charge.
Information came direct from Meghan's ex-husband.
The name The Tig comes from a wine called Tignanello, but oftentimes it's mispronounced Tignanello.
Did Meghan and Harry really meet on that blind date, or have they crossed paths before?
Because I'm from the States, you don't grow up with the same understanding of the royal family, and so...
She must be the only person on earth who didn't remember the two young sons, aged 15 and 13, walking behind the coffin.
But here she is, aged 15, on a tour of the UK with pictures in front of the palace.
Given that I didn't know a lot about him, everything that I've learned about him, I learned through him.
So again, you've got Meghan going to somewhere where she knows the royals like to hang out. Has Meghan already acquired her next target?
Because it isn't enough to simply talk about equality. One must believe in it.
Meghan, will you tell the story about when you wrote that letter to P&G?
And I was talking about an experience that I had when I was 11 years old.
She literally says 11 100 million times every time she tells a story.
Meghan had said that she wanted to not be seen as a fashion model, just an actress and a briefcase girl. She wanted the world to see her as a humanitarian.
Hey! My God. Meghan Markle's past just exploded back into the spotlight. And what's coming out is juicier than anyone could have imagined. Like, forget everything you thought you knew, because fans just uncovered receipts that suggest Meghan has been lying boldly about her royal past. It all started online, of course, and suddenly people are connecting dots that don't just poke holes in her story, they blow it wide open. The internet is on fire, and Meghan's picture-perfect royal fairy tale, it's unraveling.
And right now we're in Beverly Hills, and we're gonna pass the Beverly Hilton Hotel, where I'll be on Sunday meeting the other Northwestern people. And what else are we doing? Oh, I have an audition today.
Okay, remember when Meghan told the entire world, confidently mind you, that she didn't know anything about Prince Harry or the royal family before she met him? Nada, zilch, like girls didn't even Google him? Yeah, well, that claim is looking real shaky now.
I think for both of us, though, it was really refreshing, because given that I didn't know a lot about him, everything that I've learned about him, I learned through him, as opposed to having grown up around different news stories or tabloids or whatever else. Anything I learned about him and his family was what he would share with me, and vice versa. So for both of us, it was just a really authentic and organic way to get to know each other. You know, because I'm from the States, you don't grow up with the same understanding of the royal family, and so while I now understand very clearly, there's a global interest there.
And the Oscar goes to...
Because now old videos and blog posts are making the rounds, and they are damn. A resurfaced clip from her now defunct blog, The Tig. She was literally fangirling over royal weddings. She was giddy about Prince William and Kate Middleton's 2011 wedding, describing it all as magical, mesmerizing, full of tradition. Sound familiar?
Meghan, when she was a teenager, was captivated by Diana. They watched the funeral. She and her friends were saddened and very moved by it.
She'd always had an interest in the royal family.
The chances of meeting the Queen are pretty slim.
Oh, the irony. That's a 15-year-old Meghan Markle on a bus tour in London in 1996.
And of course, we have this last photo that clearly shows her holding a magazine, which has all about Kate's wedding to Prince William in it.
I, William Arthur Philip Louis.
Take thee, Catherine Elizabeth.
Take thee, Catherine Elizabeth.
To my wedded wife.
To my wedded wife.
She actually wrote about the grandeur and how royal weddings capture everyone's imagination. She was obsessed. But fast forward to her telling Oprah she had no clue about Harry. Please Please, that doesn't just feel misleading, it feels like a whole script.
She may just have a little experience running a royal household. Yep, that's the former Suits star in a rare home video from 1990, playing with her friends and pretending to be the queen.
Fans are furious. They're calling her out in droves, saying her entire narrative was fake, strategic, and totally manipulative. Social media has gone off, TikTok, Twitter, everywhere. People are saying she lied to Harry, the royals, and the public. Oh, for what? Fame? Power? The timing couldn't be worse either. Meghan's image is already hanging by a thread, and now it's snapping.
Never been part of tabloid culture. I've never been in pop culture to that degree.
Come with me for a day in the life. I'm going to show you my favorite spots in Toronto. What's your name? Gohar. Gohar. Meghan, nice to meet you.
And lived a relatively quiet life.
I'm dragging her over. I'll give you that guy. Thank you. Good night, guys. Good to see you again. Bye. Yeah, of course. What's your name?
I just want to meet you.
Hey, yeah, of course.
Insiders are spilling that her whole "I'm just a clueless outsider" act was no coincidence. Nope. Former associates say Meghan knew exactly what she was doing. Playing naive, that was all part of the PR. Because behind the scenes, Meghan was obsessed with royal life. Everyone in Hollywood knew it. It was like an open secret.
How are you enjoying London life? I mean, it must be mad because, you know, it's very different here and it's cold.
It is very cold, but the people are so warm. As cheesy as that sounds, I was joking today, I've never been called love or darling more in my life, so it makes me want to stick around for a while.
I didn't know much about him, and so the only thing that I had asked her when she said she wanted to set us up was, I had one question. I said, well, is he nice? Because if he wasn't kind, it didn't seem like it would make sense.
I mean, I didn't know who she was at the time, and I was at a charity event, and I think you may know him, John Caldwell.
Who else has a room like this? Well, other than Buckingham Palace, of course.
He said, look, can you sit next to this girl? She's flown in from Canada. We got on really, really well, and we did have a huge giggle, and she wanted to find an English boyfriend. So I said, look, I'll help you. So I was going through my phone. There was Ashley Cole, Chelsea footballer. I was trying.
And get this, her PR team apparently tried to clean the internet, delete anything that contradicted her fairy tale, but they missed some big pieces, and now those pieces are blowing up. People are asking, was the marriage with Harry real love, or just the final act of a long, calculated play? The palace probably saw this coming, but the public, they're just catching on, and they're not taking it well.
It's funny to look back at it now because that was before social media, where you had a reach that was so much greater. It was just an 11-year-old with a pen and paper.
It was just her, guys. No one else involved. Just one 11-year-old who realized this was bad and put pen to paper, found those addresses? No, she didn't.
Oh, because if Meghan could lie about something as simple as knowing who Prince Harry was, what else has she twisted? What else has been embellished or fabricated? Well, buckle up, because this rabbit hole goes deep. What fans are discovering next, it's personal.
She knew nothing. Oh gosh, well, not according to people who knew her, who saw my books and other books on royal family, especially on Diana, on her bookshelf. I'm afraid she knew nothing.
Childhood friends are coming out of the woodwork, and they're saying Meghan wasn't just aware of Princess Diana, she was obsessed, like full-on idolizing her from a super young age. Not just admiration, no. Meghan wanted to be Diana. Every gesture, every outfit, her charity work, she studied it all.
It's in her blog. She watched Catherine and William's wedding. Who was best man?
And this wasn't just some passing phase. According to people who knew her growing up, Meghan collected books on Diana, binged documentaries, and openly said she wanted to marry into royalty. What seemed like childhood fantasy now looks like a plan, a serious one. Fans are reeling because Meghan kept insisting she went into the royal family blind, but the evidence says otherwise.
Here's what she wrote on her blog, The Tig. Little girls dream of being princesses. I, for one, was all about She-Ra, Princess of Power. Grown women seem to retain this childhood fantasy. Just look at the pomp and circumstance surrounding the royal wedding and endless conversation about Princess Kate. The Tig blog post was also accompanied by an interview with the Libyan princess, in which Meghan claimed she had a pinch myself, I'm emailing with the princess moment.
Some sources close to Meghan's teen years are claiming she didn't just admire Diana, she wanted to replicate her fame, her power. She allegedly knew which friendships to form, what steps to take, and how to build the right image, even before Harry entered the picture. It's wild.
Long before she was a duchess, Meghan Markle was a queen. A homecoming queen who people bowed to and cheered.
Hollywood insiders are whispering that Meghan's strategy might have gone even deeper, that her fascination with Diana didn't just shape her brand, it may have shaped her love life. That whole image of Meghan as this warm, misunderstood figure, yeah, it might have been curated all along.
But one of Meghan's first acting jobs was on General Hospital. It probably didn't hurt that her dad was the soap's lighting director.
You need to have one line.
Yeah.
So she got the line, she got the part.
Many actors start out on soaps.
I have this chart right here, Dr. Lambert. I don't see the notation anywhere.
And yeah, that was definitely a start. Not the most believable paper shuffling we've ever seen.
And wait for this, her Wikipedia page apparently got a serious facelift just before she started dating Harry. Her PR team allegedly went in, scrubbed all the references to her old acting gigs, and replaced it with glowing praise about her charity work. One minute, she's a lifestyle blogger and suitcase girl on Deal or No Deal. The next, she's a humanitarian goddess. Fans saw the change and freaked.
What is it like going on one of those trips? Because I feel like we see the photos.
Yeah. Well, my trip to Rwanda last year was very different because it was just, it was primarily at Parliament. I did go to a refugee camp, though.
So Meghan requested to be flown first class, and she wanted to make sure that she brought her own well-known fashion photographer on the charity's dime, and her own hair and makeup artist, also on the charity's dime.
Insiders are now saying that Meghan's sudden humanitarian glow-up played a huge role in Harry falling for her. Remember how he always gushed over her compassion and selflessness during their early interviews? Yeah, that praise, it's being seen in a whole new light now, because former colleagues claim Meghan's charity credentials were basically non-existent before Harry. One even said it was never central to who she was. Suddenly, she's Mother Teresa? Please. The internet, of course, is not letting it go. People started digging up old blogs, old videos, everything. What they found? A Meghan who was into fashion, luxury, travel, not saving the world. The change? Way too convenient. Her fans, even her fans, are starting to feel duped.
And it ended up being this insane fashion shoot. She took lots of photos, lots of videos with the village children, but she had to make sure she changed outfits in between meeting different kids so that she had a variety of content.
Not for the charity or the cause, but for Meghan.
This whole Wikipedia scandal isn't just embarrassing, it's destructive. Critics are now convinced Meghan didn't just fall in love with Prince Harry, she targeted him. They're saying she rebranded herself with one purpose, to lock down a royal. And it worked. But now that the truth's slipping out, people feel played. And just when the dust was starting to settle, another scandal broke loose, this time involving her charity work. And it's bad. So remember Meghan's big humanitarian trip to Rwanda in 2014? The one that her PR team loved to flaunt when she started dating Harry? Well, buckle up, because according to former insiders, it wasn't exactly what we were led to believe. A producer who worked on the trip finally spoke up, and her claims are absolutely insane. Meghan allegedly flew first class, brought along a fashion photographer, and even hired her own glam team, hair, makeup, all of it. And guess who footed the bill? The charity. Let that sink in.
Contract is signed. There are difficulties with the trip. Meghan's demands. The producer, whose name is Surminski, could no longer get to travel because Meghan has eaten into the producer's part of the budget. Meghan demanded so much of an increase, the producer can't go. And it is supposedly for a charitable cause, remember.
Fans were horrified. Meghan using an impoverished African village as a photo backdrop? The backlash was instant. Twitter lit up. People were saying it wasn't about helping people, it was about building her image. Apparently, she spent hours taking pictures, changing outfits, making sure everything looked effortlessly humanitarian. One insider said flat out, it was never about the cause, it was about That comment alone sent social media into meltdown. The betrayal cut deep. That Rwanda trip was a cornerstone of Meghan's early royal brand. Compassionate, noble, global. But now, it's being seen as a PR stunt. And insiders say everyone in Hollywood knew it. They just didn't speak up until now. And just when Meghan's team was trying to put out that fire, another one ignited. This time, it was personal.
Little Meghan Markle was on TV, and she was a firecracker even at age 11.
I don't think it's right for kids to grow up thinking these things, that just mom does everything.
One of Meghan's favorite stories, the one about her writing a letter to Procter & Gamble at 11 years old and changing a sexist commercial, it's not holding up. That tale, the one she told everywhere from the UN to interviews, it's now being seriously questioned.
The infamous dish soap story came up again at the South by Southwest panel from Duchess Meghan Markle. But this time it was from Katie Couric who triggered it. Was she told to ask, or was she trolling? Also, for those of you who don't know, the story is complete nonsense.
Experts have spoken, at historians, insiders, they all say there's zero proof Meghan's letter changed anything. The ad was reportedly already set for an update, and Meghan's passionate retelling is starting to look more like myth than memory. Even worse, some say the whole thing might have been totally made up.
For a social studies assignment way back in elementary school in Los Angeles.
Even this, at least, is honest. For a social studies assignment, this was a class assignment.
Project, yes.
This was not a Meghan Markle decided to do this. This was a project in class where they were looking at things. So clearly the teacher brought this up, not Meghan.
Reddit exploded, Twitter exploded. People were posting timelines, side-by-side comparisons, calling the whole thing out. One post said it best. She didn't change the world at 11, she changed the story in her 30s. The damage, massive, because that story was the foundation of her empowerment narrative. If that cracks, the whole house might fall. And it gets worse. Meghan's own father once said he arranged the media coverage back then. So was the whole girl takes on sexism angle a sweet story or a PR move from day one? Fans are asking, and they want answers, because now it's starting to look like pattern behavior. But oh no, don't think that's the end. We're not even done yet. So remember all that talk about Meghan being a hopeless romantic? Turns out she might have had a literal vision board of Prince Harry. Yes, seriously. Sources from her early LA days say Meghan didn't just talk about marrying a royal, she planned it. One even claimed she had Harry's photo on a board. That's not dreaming, that's plotting. And her entire social circle shifted after she gained fame on Suits. She started hanging with people connected to royal circles. Coincidence? Doesn't sound like it. She showed up at exclusive spots like 5 Hartford Street, frequented by royals, and did events where the younger royals were known to go. She wasn't bumping into royalty, she was chasing them. Everything had intention behind it, and now the yacht rumors are back. Whispers have followed Meghan for years about her alleged involvement in the yacht girl scene. That's right. Elite parties in the Mediterranean with billionaires and influencers. Her name popped up more than once. Places like Greece, Croatia, private yachts. Nothing concrete, but plenty of whispers. And the name that made everything worse? Prince Andrew. There's unconfirmed chatter that may have been at the same parties as Andrew years ago. Some even claim she crossed paths with people later linked to Jeffrey Epstein. Again, no direct proof, but in royal circles, implication is enough to cause a meltdown. Online sleuths are on it. TikTok detectives are matching yacht schedules to old Instagram pics. Reddit is lighting up. Everyone's asking, how deep does this go? And just when we thought Meghan had enough scandals, one tiny gift tag blew everything up. During a podcast appearance with beauty mogul Jaime Kern-Lima, Jaime held up a gift basket from Meghan. Cute, right? Until people zoomed in on the tag with compliments of Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. Excuse me? What? Meghan was explicitly told not to use the Her Royal Highness title when she and Harry stepped back in 2020. They kept Duke and Duchess. But HRH? Off limits. Yet there it was, on a card in full display. Social media exploded. People were furious. Even her fans were like, what is she doing? It came off as delusional, as if Meghan refused to let go of a title that no longer belonged to her. Palace insiders say this wasn't a slip. It was intentional, strategic, and apparently she's done this before, using the HRH in private letters, on stationery, on gifts, like she's still clinging to the crown. One palace source even said, it's not an accident, it's a statement. And that statement, it's one of defiance Then came her big moment, an interview with beauty mogul Jaime Kern-Lima. It was supposed to rebrand Meghan as soft, vulnerable, relatable. Instead, it gave us a crying with no tears moment. And that HRH gift tag, fans didn't see authenticity. They saw a performance, a gene. And here's where it gets really awkward. The Hollywood friends Meghan once leaned on, the ones who reposted her launches, cheered her on, showed up to events, they've gone dead silent. No Instagram reposts, no subtle support, no interviews defending her, nothing. One insider called it the Montecito freeze-out. Another was even harsher. She overplayed her hand. You can't reinvent yourself 5 times in 5 years and expect people to follow. So where is Meghan now? According to reports, she's holed up in Montecito, clinging to her brand, her titles, and a public image that's clearly unraveling. Sure, she still has the mansion, the press coverage, and a few loyal fans, but the one thing slipping from her grasp, the benefit of the doubt. People are asking, has Meghan Markle finally pushed it too far? Has the public been sold a narrative so polished, so rehearsed, that now, when the truth starts leaking, it all feels like one big con? And here's the wildest part. Every new revelation, every receipt, every contradiction makes it harder and harder for people to believe anything she says. This isn't just a PR problem. It's a credibility collapse. And unless something changes fast, it may be game over for Meghan's carefully crafted global persona. The Duchess of Sussex may still sign the cards, smile for the cameras, and sell the dream, but the world is finally waking up. So now the question is, was it all just a fairy tale, or was it a masterclass in manipulation? Drop your thoughts below. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because the next chapter, ooh, it's coming, and it might be the biggest twist yet.